Welcome to Women Gone Vibrant, where it is all about radical body wisdom for mature women. Here we revolutionize the way you think about your body. Stay tuned to create the next you and step into your vibrant health evolution. This is your host, Alexandra Epple, with alexandraepple.com, who is turning badass by practicing martial arts with a yogic attitude. And I am sitting here with Vaidehi Normand with vaidehinormand.com. Welcome to the Today we are talking about clothes of all things and everything that comes with it. Shoes and accessories and jewelry and hair and just the way we dress and the way we make ourselves appear on the outside and how that is impacting our sense of self-confidence, our sense of self-worth and self-love. And I can attest from firsthand experience how much impact a change in dress can have on how I see myself and how others see me. And I'm so happy to have you on the show, Vaidehi, because I know the impact it has to work with an image consultant, and you are an image consultant, you're a fashion designer. And it was so fun working with you, and I really got tons out of it. So I'm really happy you're on the show telling us all the ins and outs about dress and how that's interrelated with who we are and our identity.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here with you, Alexandra. And one of the reasons I'm so honored to be here is I have actually seen firsthand the impact you have on women's lives. I had a chance to work with one of your clients, and she could not stop singing your glories, and I could see the transformation she had gone through. It was amazing. Karina?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah. And everybody I've known that has worked with you has just been changed by you in such a positive way. So I'm honored to be a guest on your show.
Thank you so much. And so I met you at a business conference a while back. It must have been 2013, 2014 or so. Mm-hmm. And it was at a time that I was really frustrated about the way I was dressing. I looked in my closet and all I saw was black. And I knew I didn't want to wear black. I just felt heavy and I felt unattractive wearing black, but I didn't know what else to do. So I remember going to this conference and I turned around to look at something else than you, but I turned around and I saw you sitting there and I was thinking to myself, wow, I see her. Like she doesn't even wear that expensive of clothes, but I see her and I see how beautiful she is and I see her as a person. I want to work with this woman.
Yeah.
Right? And I knew you were an image consultant, but I was really intrigued. And so could you talk a little bit about this concept between dress versus being seen yourself versus seeing the clothes that you wear?
Yes. I love that question. One of the most common things when I meet somebody and I ask them how they choose what to wear, almost every piece they choose is because somebody complimented them on it. Or the sales rep told them, this looks great on you. And so they're making all these decisions based on other people's opinions. And in fact, most of the time, those opinions, those compliments have more to do with what the person sees for themselves. So for example, they may say, oh, you have a great shirt on, but really they're thinking, I actually really want that shirt. And it's not that the shirt doesn't necessarily look good on you, but it's just that they're seeing the shirt more than the whole piece of you, the beautiful experience of who you are. And so the biggest underlying reason behind that is the wrong pieces will have a stronger presence than you. They'll take the attention away from your face. The right pieces will bring all the attention to your face and specifically your eyes, which is where people connect with you, where they can actually see who you are. And so when everything you're wearing is an expression of who you are, it should be about you, not the clothes.
Yeah. The best compliment that I picked up from you is really when somebody tells you, hey, this is a nice dress. And if the person says, actually, you look great today, it's a much bigger compliment to get than than getting a compliment that says, hey, you're wearing a nice dress.
Yes, exactly. Because they're looking at the dress instead. They're supposed to be looking at you.
Exactly. I love that concept because it's so much in line with what I teach with Ayurveda and yoga, is that really find ourselves, and dress has such an impact on that. From your perspective, how does dressing and clothing yourself impact your level of self-worth and self-love and self-confidence? How is that actually happening?
That's like actually the underlying core reason I do what I do. I think that if we all love ourselves more, then the world will be healed because we love ourselves, then we love other people like that. So how you dress is how you feel about yourself. When I wear my sweatshirt and my pajamas and my, cozy house clothes, that's how I want to feel. I want to feel cozy. I don't really want people to see me. And so that's how I feel about myself that day. But as I was getting ready for this interview, I was feeling so adorned. I was feeling so powerful. And I think that, one of the biggest obstacles to being able to truly love ourselves and to dress in a way that makes us love ourselves is because when we look in the mirror, all we see is judgment. And we have all these stories, negative opinions that people have told us, bad experiences and comparisons on what we think we should be or who we used to be. And that's all we see. Rather than celebrating what's so beautiful about ourselves, we have so many judgments. And it keeps us from being able to see the full picture of who we are. And that is the tools, those judgments, those insecurities, that's the driving force to how we choose what to wear. And so we're showing up with this shell and we're wanting to hide, we're wanting to be seen. And it's this push-pull dance that we do. But
I can attest to that a lot. Push, wanting to be seen and not wanting to be seen.
Right, a little bit of both, of like hiding in the covers, but see me,
Yeah, exactly.
And when we have somebody from outside who can show us this is how you look, this is how beautiful you are, and this is going to really bring that out, then we have the tools to make that choice every single morning. I want to be beautiful today. I want to put these on and show up as me, and that's taking your power back and allowing yourself to fully love who you are and celebrate who you are at every stage of your life.
Yeah.
When you're going through so many transitions, I love that you work with women who are going through the change of life. They call it menopause or different changes of lives. It can be such a huge transformation on how we see ourselves. We have an identity crisis and we look at ourselves or look at our body and we don't recognize it. We say, who are we? And that can be a startling fact where we can't find those reasons to love ourselves, because what we identified with as being loved or as being celebrated was maybe our youth or maybe a waistline or something that was in the past and it's no longer there. So our tools to how we love ourselves are suddenly in different form. And my goal is to give you that eternal form, because really what's beautiful about you is eternal. It's not affected by time or age. The beautiful energy that is you is endless. It's always going to be there and it's always going to be beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the factor of eternal youth. That is actually a concept in Ayurveda as well. And
Oh,
dress
wow.
it underscores that, doesn't it? And we can almost, when we don't feel confident or we don't feel this sense of worth or self-love, what we can do is change our outside so that our inside changes. So we can work from the inside out, but also from the outside in. And so really
Yeah.
what I help people do almost is like I help them change from the inside out and you help them to change from the outside in. And how powerful,
Yeah.
right? How powerful is
Yeah.
that when the two can meet? Because it becomes that much more, that much easier to change our identity. Because this is really what we're talking about. If I dress today as a migrant worker in Nevada City who is working with weed, I dress completely different than if I'm working corporate. Right? So it's like, wow,
Yeah.
of identity shift that's happening from the outside in is incredible. Yeah.
And it just shows so much when you step into that level of I'm ready to appreciate myself and I want to work on the inside and I want to work on the outside. It has innumerable impacts all over your life. You know, I know that when I started working on my health and getting the inside work, it transformed into my business, and I started making more money because my self-worth went up. And when I dress powerfully and I invest in a really good piece of clothing that makes me feel powerful, then my confidence and so many transformations in my inner self go up. So they actually go perfectly hand in hand.
That's awesome. So what I was really amazed at when I was working with you is the level of detail that you provided me with. So I thought, oh yeah, I get some image consulting. You're going to tell me about the colors I'm going to wear and maybe about the patterns that look good on me. But you went to so much detail. It was incredible. You went even to the point of telling me how long my necklace should be in order for my to pop out. And I would be, could you outline for us the components that you include in your work with people, just so people can get an idea of what is an image consulting even? What does that?
Yeah, I love that question. That's so fun. So I work with proven systems. These have been developed for decades, and I just make them a really easy to use system. So here's the thing, is we are all so unique. We are all so unique in different shapes and colors and sizes. So this formula, it takes a way of translating who you are into a formula for how to dress. And the three main components are color, which taps into your unique vibration of energy, right? So we say that I choose the color based on how I feel. But how you feel is a different vibration. So if you feel really happy one day, your color for how that looks is different than somebody else's happy vibration color, you know? So we have the colors that look best on you. And then there's the body. You have this beautiful shaped body that's completely unique. And so I give you a formula for the best clothing cuts that are going to flatter your body, you know, what kind of material to use, where the waistline should be, where the length of the dress and the pants should be. And you can have the right color and the wrong cut and it won't look good. And you can have the right cut and the wrong color and it won't look good. And then there's this whole other component, which is the third piece, which is the style details. This is where your personality comes in. So what's important to you? How do you move? How do you express yourself? And this is a way of adding in pieces that make you feel unique and help you tap into what's important. So this is the prints, the accessories, the different shapes that bring attention to your face. And like you said, the neckline. I love that one. Everyone feels like I'm doing some sort of mathematical equation. I'm like, boop, 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 boop. They're like, what are you doing? and all I'm doing is bringing the attention to your face, because that's where the magic happens. That's where your message comes in. That's where the love happens, you know? So that's every single piece of that is to celebrate who you are. You know, for example, when I was dressing today, I have this top that I love because it's my blush color. So it brings out my cheeks and my lips, and it makes me feel really tapped into my heart, and it helps people who see me feel vulnerable. They feel like they can relax with me, right? But it's a top that I got at Nordstrom's, which feels a little corporate. So I made sure to wear some earrings, I don't know if you can see them, that feel more exotic. They remind me of India, which is where my spiritual faith comes from. And they remind me of traveling, and they remind me of all these different things that help me tap into what's important to me. So I remember who I am when I'm showing up to represent my business.
Yeah,
So,
and that top does look really good on you. It totally
oh,
brings
thank you.
the blushiness of your cheek, and it looks relatable. And you're right. You look completely relaxed, and I feel like I can tell you anything.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So this is the 3-part component. And when you have these 3 pieces and you have the tools to choose each piece really intentionally, and when you choose each piece with the formula, then they naturally all go together. So it eliminates the stress around trying to build outfits. It eliminates the stress around going shopping and trying to figure out who you are. Shopping is like this identity crisis. I know people that they need therapy after a shopping trip because they're like, I didn't know. I mean, I had to look at my body for the first time, which I don't like doing. And then I had to decide, is this who I am? Is this piece going to represent who I am? And it's just like this, it's just too much stress. But when you have the tools to navigate through that confidently, and you know what isn't going to work and what is going to work, it eliminates all that stress. And all the goal is just to find that right piece that really celebrates who you are. So
You said a lot there that I want to pick on. One of the things that you said was color, and how color has vibration and how it can impact the way we feel. You actually said, well, we choose a color when we feel a certain way, right? So if we feel joyful that day, we may wear yellow, or we may wear red because we feel good about ourselves. But also the opposite is true, as if we don't feel good, we can choose actually to wear our happy color to uplift our mood. And
Yep.
according to what colors looks good on us, that will have a profound impact. And I just want to say that in Ayurveda, in just in general, in healing, there's this whole branch of color therapy where we use
Oh, wow.
totally where we use color to heal. So one of the things we
Oh,
would do,
wow.
well, the colors we wear, the colors we put on our walls, like drinking colored water, the water that's been sitting in a cup that has a certain color has a vibrational impact on us.
Whoa.
So I just want to underline how important it is to wear the quote unquote right color for us, and
Mhm.
the colors that uplift our mood. And it's like the example with my black clothes. It was suppressing my energy completely.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're wearing, like, for example, somebody that isn't supposed to look their best in black, it takes a lot of energy to hold that color.
Mm.
It actually drains your energy because you're trying to, it's almost like lifting a weight that's too big for you because it's not really the right color for you. So it's like this energy that's surrounding you, and it's actually zapping your energy. And
Mhm.
when you can remove yourself from that and put on the colors that really are right for your vibration, then it lifts up your energy. So whether you're tired, it gives you energy, or you're already energized, it gives you more energy and helps that energy go further, like a lighthouse. I think of it like a lighthouse beaming light across the world.
And we are taking a short break. Did you know that there's a private Facebook group that goes along with this podcast? Well, if you haven't joined it yet, go to Facebook now and type in the search bar Women Gone Vibrant and join the conversation. You get to ask questions, you get to interact with me and other listeners. And ask away. The more questions, the more you learn. You can ask anything that is arising from listening to our podcast, and any other health-related question, whether that is in body, mind, or spirit. And as you know, I'm all about healthy eating, healthy living, and what's most important, empowerment. So please hop on over to Facebook right now, join the conversation, just search for Women Gone Vibrant, and we will chat there. And now it is time for more. At some point you asked me what are the things that I got out from working with you, and I really landed on two very specific things, and you already mentioned a couple of them. Well, one of them is the going shopping experience. I mean, I remember the time when I would go shopping and I would spend all day somewhere in a shopping mall. I'm like, oh, I don't know, maybe this looks good. Oh, I don't know, maybe this looks good. And I would come home with these big bags of clothes that I then, half of them I returned because they ended up
Oh.
not looking good. And then I would keep some of them, and 4 weeks later I'd be like, I don't know if I like this one. And that doesn't happen to me anymore. And
Oh,
my
wow.
wardrobe is that much smaller. I save a lot of money because I don't buy so many clothes that I don't like that I then end up giving away.
I love that. I love that you're also not wasting that time. That's also the part that kills me is you went shopping all day, you bring it home, and then you had to go back again to return it. That's too much time where you could be doing way better things.
Exactly. And also the difference being when I know my colors, when I know my cuts, I can just walk into a store and scan it. First thing I do is scan for the colors. And then,
Nice.
oh, if there's something that catches my eye in terms of color that would look good on me, then I check the style. I'm like, oh, this
Mm,
is a narrow cut, no good for me. I need flowy, right? So it is a much quicker.
nice.
So you're saying like the time, so much time saved, so much money saved. Like, so from your experience, what would you think are the top, say, 3 things that people gain from working with you? I know you've already touched on that, but let's highlight them, because I think time is one of them. Uh,
Yeah.
like one of them.
Yeah, I would say that the visibility piece is a really big one. Being comfortable being seen. I think that that's kind of a challenge for a lot of us is welcoming attention for people to look at us. And a lot of our relationship with our bodies and our clothes, it all comes up and there's a lot more there. But when you feel comfortable with how you look, then you welcome attention, which leads to, if you're in business, it leads to more clients and, higher paying clients like that. So many different things. And I would say that there's been the confidence around being seen, the confidence to ask what you're worth. So you raise your rates. I have seen almost every one of my clients turn their business around and have a full practice. So whether that means being more visible with video, doing more speaking, finally asking for that higher rate that they feel that they're worth, so their prosperity goes up. So visibility, prosperity, and a deep level of healing. I would say it's healing. I want to say the mother wound, because shopping and clothes has so much to do with your mother. And that's not necessarily true across the board, but so many of my clients say, my mom told me to wear this, or my mom told me this about myself, right? And so when I come in, yeah, it's a huge one. And it's like this little wound. And when I tell them that you are allowed to wear this color or don't wear this cut, even though your mom told you to, they feel so much healing and acceptance with their body and like who they are as a woman. And that translates into their sex life, into their relationships, and I've seen them lose weight. Not that that's a goal, but because they feel like they can love themselves again, So I would say it definitely increases their feminine power. One of my clients says, I never wore dresses because I didn't think that had anything to do with me. But now I know how to do it in a powerful way, still own my feminine power and be confident, So those are like the three main things I see my clients with: confidence, prosperity, and feminine power.
I love that feminine power piece. And I love what you said about moms, So if I go to my own mom's story, my mom is incredibly well dressed. She's 72. I cannot compete with her on any level. She has this Venus energy in her chart or something like that, where she picks something up and it's beautiful, on her. And for the longest time, I dressed like she advised me to, which was great. It was really at a level, it's fine, it was great. But I wasn't really finding myself, like you said. I wasn't really finding my own way of dressing. And then understanding what works for me as a person. Now I can be much more strong that when I go shopping with my mom, I can still hear what she's saying, because I trust very much her taste. It has always really good quality, and she knows the newest styles. And if you look at her, it's like, how can you dress like this at 72? Every time she walks in the door, it's like, how come you look always so good and I don't, sort of a thing. Not really, but
I kind of want to see a picture of her now. I want to see a picture.
I will send you a good picture when I find it. But anyway, when I go shopping with her now, it's like I can stand my ground more and say, Mom, I really like this, but I don't think it's for me. But I can still hear her and at the same time be myself. So I think that's really powerful in terms of healing our mother wounds, like you're saying.
Oh my gosh, I think we spent half of our life trying not to be our moms, and then we spend the other half realizing that they were right on so many levels. So much of our inner dialogue is our mom's voice, And like I said, this isn't across the board for everybody, but I hear it so often. My mom told me this, and as I'm a mom now, I'm a new mom, and I can see, like, I'm just using my tools that I have to teach my daughter what I know. And that's what most moms are doing. But it's not like they know how to customize it for individuals, because it's a whole study. It's a whole system, so moms are doing their best, and we're left going, I don't look exactly like my mom, or I don't want to look exactly like her, but that's what I have to work with. So it's a cycle.
Right. So just to summarize a little bit what we talked about, so it seems like if there's any inclination in yourself where you're thinking, I really want to be me, and I want to be successful in life, whether that's be financially or in the family, and if I want to be powerful, it almost seems like really working on the way you dress is incredibly important. Like, that would be my summary of what we talked about.
Yeah. I would say if you want to be taken seriously, and you want people to hear you from an authentic place. So you're not trying to put on airs or trying to show a certain level of confidence that's not totally in alignment with you, but you want to show up confidently in a way that's fully in alignment, where you want to create influence. You want people to hear you and hear your message. This is a really powerful time to get support with your image, because your image can have, night and day transformation when it comes to how people receive you. And the core root of it is how you feel about yourself, right? So if you feel good about yourself, then you're showing up powerfully, right? They see you that way. But if you're trying to grow your business, if you're trying to start a new relationship, you're trying to show up in the world in a more powerful way, to start a movement, to tap into something, this is a great opportunity to get support with your image. So, I have been putting out some really great tools to really give a lot of value to people. So one of the things I started recently is a meetup. It's called Successful Women Shopping. So I personally work with professional women. So a lot of my work is around how to up-level your professional look. So this is great if you are in business. And if you're not in business, it's still a powerful tool to learn how to create influence and how to love yourself. So the Successful Women Shopping is a free meetup you can watch. I do weekly shopping trips where I post different clothing types for different body types and different color palettes and accessories. And it's just super great and valuable. And I would say that there's some amazing image consultants around the Bay Area. There's actually not a ton, but I do know a few. I only work with 100% committed women that are ready to say yes. I have a 10-month-old baby, and so it takes a lot to pull me away from her. But if you are ready to step up and really step up your image game and love your body at the exact way it is now, then I can match that commitment, and I would love to have a conversation.
You actually just answered the next question that I was having for you, is like, can you give us somewhere where people can get started? And one of the ways they can get started is by having a conversation with you and seeing if it's something that they want to step into. Right?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a really good place to start with me is and I only offer a few of these. It's called a soul style look. This is an outfit planning session. It's virtual. We do it over Zoom like this. And I start by getting clear on the image you want, and we actually work in your wardrobe to build a power outfit that makes you feel unstoppable. And this is a great way for us to have a conversation to see if working together more as a fit, and to give you some really great tools right now. So what we can do is we can include the link below, and then you can see if it's a fit for you. And it's a $197 investment, and it's by application only. But if you're called to really get support, I would say definitely apply and consider it. And following my shopping meetup is another great resource to see my style. I have videos so you can see what I put out there and if it's fit for you. And I think that that's the first place is, do you feel like what I say is something you resonate with?
Yeah. And I have to attest again, and it is really powerful work to get there. And I just want to hone it down with a concept that I'm using in my work as well that totally applies to what you're doing. There's this diagram made by Stanford University by a guy named, I'm not sure who made it. I think James Clear made it. I'm not exactly sure if it was him or someone else. But anyway, if you imagine in the center is your identity, it's like a circle and it is labeled identity. And around that circle is your habits. That's another circle around it. And around that is another circle that says appearance. So you can imagine, so I work with people in the center with the habits. And by changing habits, we change our identity. And by changing our habits, we also change the way we appear to others and the way we appear to ourselves. Wow. And so now and all the habits the habits influence our identity, right? Now your work comes from the outer ring, appearance. Yeah. So by simply changing your appearance, even if you don't feel it yet, even if you don't have the identity yet, you change the outer ring, the appearance of who you are, and you fake it until you make it. And it will change your identity in the center, and will also change the habits, like how you take care of yourself, how you eat, how you take care of your body, how you nourish yourself. So this is a very simple diagram that really sees if you want to grow in who you are and if you really want to become who you are. This is a powerful diagram.
Wow, I love that you talked about that diagram. That is so powerful. Wow, and you can see how many different layers are covering up who our true selves are.
Yeah.
And they can be so self-destructive, habits, identity, right? So many different things that you mentioned. But when you get the clear path that the real you can shine through, right?
Yeah. I'm
That's,
totally invested in that. And I think you are totally invested in that.
yeah.
And I think our clients are invested in that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I actually recently started working with a new sort of a little similar sort of process that I created called the core confidence to self-love, where we identify all the different stories we have around our bodies and our personalities, and we're able to let go of the voices that come with us when we're shopping and when we're making decisions about who we are. And ultimately, it's the same concept of eliminating the untruth that covers us so that the real truth can come through.
Yeah.
So we are like really doing some powerful work that's actually really in alignment.
It's totally in alignment. That's why I asked you to be on this podcast. So
Beautiful.
yeah, thank you so much for being here, Vaidehi. And is there anything last minute thoughts, last
Yes.
you want to do? Yes.
Yes. I would love to say that when you're getting dressed in the morning, I would love for you to think about the 3 things that you love about yourself the most. And everyone who's listening, as you're getting dressed, I want you to put on only the things that bring focus to those things. So first, write down the 3 things you love about yourself the most, and then use those as your starting place. Does this shirt bring attention to that? Does this necklace, does this hairstyle, whatever it is that you're dressing with, bring attention to what's beautiful. This is going to have multiple levels of effect. Mainly, one of the first ones is focusing on what you love about yourself rather than focusing on all the things you would change. So loving yourself, appreciating yourself. And a really great place to start is to wear a color that matches your eye color. Find a shade that's exactly the shade of your eyes. And when you wear that color, you'll start to notice the rest of your face comes alive and your energy is up, and you feel like you have a tan and you're wearing makeup even if you're not. It's just vibrant. And that's why we're here. Women Gone Vibrant.
Thanks for tying that back in.
Yeah, I didn't even plan that. That was just natural.
Well, thank you so much, Vaidehi. What a great conversation. And yeah, thanks for being here.
It was such an honor. And thank you everyone for watching. Alexandra, she's amazing. All right, have a beautiful day. Bye, Alexandra.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Now, don't forget to go to the private Facebook group, Women Gone Vibrant, and join the conversation. You get to ask questions, you get to interact with me and other listeners. And please, please, please ask away. I love questions. You can ask anything under the whole wide world. But of course, health-related questions you're probably going to get the best answers to. It can be related to body, mind, spirit, no matter. I love answering questions and having a conversation with you. So hop on over to Facebook, search for Women Gone Vibrant. And in the next episode, I talk with my friend and colleague, Jackie Prate, on how to recover from traumatic accidents and surgery skillfully, the wise woman way. Honestly, I am so happy about all the people I get to interview. Jackie is another one of those rare gems. She travels the world as an Anusara yoga teacher. But before I tell too much, more about that next week. Until then, bye for now.